Hey guys, and welcome back to today's video. Today's Sunday, May 5th, 2024, and today I'm going to be going over the scenario that Donald Trump goes to jail. He is still the Republican nominee. Nothing else changes, and that he is nominated, but he ends up in he ends up in jail. So starting off with the states that we know would be safe for Biden in this scenario, and still will be safe in the actual election, will be a lot of the West Coast states. Such as California, you can see, and then Maine at large. And so Joe Biden will get those for sure, along with like Hawaii. I think in this scenario that Donald Trump does go to jail, I think we could put Colorado as a safe blue state because it is heavily trending to the left. Even back in 2012, it was a swing state for Joe Biden. Barack Obama and Mitt Romney. But I do think now that it is definitely could be solidified as a safe blue state. So in this scenario, we are going to put it as a safe blue state for Joe Biden. Even Minnesota and Virginia, I would say. Because even in 2020, Joe Biden won it by 7 points. And ever since Hillary Clinton, Virginia and Minnesota have definitely been heavily trending to the left, I feel. Especially also in 2012, Virginia was a swing state. Barack Obama only won it by 3 points. I believe Joe Biden won it by 13 points. And then same thing with New Hampshire. A lot of this is going to be driven on people aren't going to go to the polls because there was a poll recently conducted by, I believe, NBC or MSNBC News, where a good majority of Republicans said they would not vote for Donald Trump if he was convicted. And so basically what Joe Biden would be considered, what he would see as likely states, such as like Colorado, Minnesota, Virginia, and New Mexico, will most likely be safe states because it's going to be a lot of driving of those people who would vote for Trump who would just not go anymore because they would say, for example, let's say you're a Republican living in Colorado, you would most likely would go vote, but now that Donald Trump's a convicted felon and 30-40% of Republicans are saying that they're not going to go out and vote for a convicted felon, that would make you stay at home instead of going to the polls. Now, for Donald Trump's safe states would be most of what he would have regardless. I think we could definitely see some of the red states like Ohio, Iowa, and potentially even Florida be a lot closer because of his jail time. And so I think these would be what we would consider the safe states for Donald Trump in that scenario. Starting off with, let's go to Texas first. I think Texas would still go to Donald Trump, but narrowly. I mean, I would think it'd be less than 1 point. I might even give it to Joe Biden. I mean, if you really, like I said, there's going to be a lot of people who aren't going to go to the polls anymore. I honestly might just give it to Joe Biden just for the heck of it. Because I do think there are not going to be a lot of people who, a lot of Republicans who are just not going to vote for him anymore. I'm saying that this potentially is his last time running as president because there's a good chance that he could die before 2028, along with Joe Biden. This is definitely going to be the last time they actually run and are nominated for president. And so I think it could go to Biden. Because areas like Dallas and Austin, El Paso, there are a lot of liberal areas in Texas. And I think that the Republican Party is really overestimating their odds in the future of Texas. For example, Beto O'Rourke, who ran for the Texas Senate in 2018, trying to replace Ted Cruz, he lost by 2.8%, which is the closest it's been it was the highest turnout for a Democrat since the 1990s, I believe, since the Texas governor. I don't remember her name, but she was a Democrat in the 1990s. That was the last statewide office that a Democrat held. And even then, they didn't have any Democrat senators from Texas. Alaska, I do think Alaska could flip blue. I'm not sure where I'd put it though. I would say probably tilt because there are a lot of Democrats in Alaska, and it's definitely turning over to the left now because of Mary Paltoa, who's the new representative in Alaska. So there's that. I think I'm gonna put it as tilt Democrat because yeah. All right. Headed over to Nevada and Arizona. The margins there are definitely going to be a lot bigger. I'm going to put Nevada as a likely, maybe lean. I don't know. I'll leave it as a lean for now because I'll put it as likely. Nevada is an interesting case because there are two major cities, well, three, I guess you could say, Carson City, Reno, and Las Vegas. In Las Vegas and Reno normally heavily vote Democratic, and there's pretty much no rural, sorry, let me rephrase that. There is pretty much all rural Nevada outside Las Vegas and Reno and Carson City. And so I think that a lot of those people are just not going to turn out. But so I do think it would go blue for sure. In Arizona is a different case. I think it's going to be a lot closer in Arizona. I'm going to put it as a lean for now because Joe Biden has, I feel like, been struggling with a lot of Latina and Hispanic voters. I still think they would come out for Donald Trump, but like I said, a lot of this is going to be low, probably even low turnout because, like I said, Donald Trump is just getting sent to jail is just ruining his odds. I mean, there's going to be tons of people who aren't going to vote for him. So it is going to be a lean for now. So there's that. In Florida is still going to be Republican. I'm going to put it as a lean because I do think it's going to be a lot closer because Florida Democrats are probably going to campaign a lot in this scenario. But I don't think they would prevail. So yeah, Georgia. I think Georgia is definitely going to be blue for Biden in this scenario. I think it's not going to be very close. I mean, it's not going to be like the margin that Democrats want, but I think it's going to be like in Arizona. I think there are going to be a good amount of black people who do vote for Donald Trump in Georgia, and so I think Biden would still win it a lot. But because when you consider all the rural areas in Georgia, it pretty much is equivalent to the Atlanta metro area, and that's why Biden won it barely in 2020. But I do think it will be like 2020 where Joe Biden got a lot of support from the Fulton County and the Atlanta suburbs. So I do think Biden gets it narrowly. North Carolina, I'm kind of torn on that one, so I'll come back to that. Iowa, I think it goes lean for Trump, along with Ohio, because I do think that there is a good amount of Democrat support in Iowa and Ohio. Barack Obama won both of those states twice, and I think it's just the way that the Democrat parties in Iowa and Ohio are just running. It's just they're running in a way that is making them lose all the time. I think that they do have potential in those states, such as in 2023, I believe, Ohio legalized marijuana, and that is one of the issues that Democrats usually win on. And so I think that when you take a look at Ohio and Iowa, and you know that Democrats can win there because Barack Obama won it. But also you have to keep in mind that was 12 years ago now, the 2012 election. So I do think that it's going to narrow up a lot more, but I don't think it's going to be the Biden campaign and the Democrats' main focus on it's not going to be on Iowa and Ohio. So you have to consider that. It will be closer than it normally would be, but Joe Biden will not win it. In Wisconsin, I think it's going to be a lean. Michigan, I would say likely. In Pennsylvania, likely. Now, let me explain why I think it's going to be like this. Wisconsin, Republican Party, I believe, controls both state legislators, both the House and the Senate. And they also have one Senate seat in the United States Senate, which is Ron Johnson. And the Democrats do pretty well in Wisconsin too. They have the governors. They hold the governor, and they also have one Senate seat held by Tammy Baldwin. So I do think that Democrats will do pretty good in Wisconsin, especially when you look at the growing suburbs of like Madison and Milwaukee. Milwaukee is pretty populous, and along with Madison, and so I do think that uh, Wisconsin will go blue in this scenario. And the reason I put Michigan and Pennsylvania as a likely for Biden is because it's because of, first of all, let's go to Michigan, Detroit and Ann Arbor, heavily Democrat areas. And like I said, it's going to be low turnout for Republicans, so it's really going to up Biden's margins. And since he already heavily wins areas like Oakland County, which is a suburb of Detroit, Washtenaw County, which is where Ann Arbor is located, University of Michigan, super liberal, and Wayne County, which is where Detroit is located, along with a lot of Detroit suburbs, Dearborn, Plymouth, Allen Park, Highland Park, and so there's a lot of suburbs in Detroit that are located within Wayne County, where they have a lot of Arab and Muslim populations, specifically in like places like Dearborn. Hamtramck is one. And so, yeah. And with Pennsylvania, they have Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia will have high turnout this election season. And so there's that. And then Nebraska's 2nd congressional district, I'm going to put as a lean, because no matter whether Trump goes to jail or not before Election Day, I do think it's going to go to Biden, unless the state legislature proposes that all electoral votes go to, statewide, where, let me explain that for a minute. So I believe it was Nebraska's governor proposed the idea that all of the state's electoral votes will just go straight to the winner, so take all, instead of split by congressional districts. Same thing in Maine. They also proposed that if Nebraska passes that, then they will too. And so it's going to be interesting to see what actually happens. So that's something that we're going to definitely keep an eye on in the next few months, even maybe few weeks. If it happens, they'll pass it. Both states will pass it if one of let's say Nebraska passes it, so will Maine. So there's that. And then I think Nebraska's 2nd will go to Biden no matter what. Maine's 2nd congressional district, I think, would be tilt for Biden. Like I said, it's low voter turnout, this and that. So there's that. And then North Carolina, I'm going to put it as lean. I do think that Biden would make decent ground there, because if he's going to campaign and Trump's in jail, he's definitely going to get a lot of swing voters, and Democrats have actually done pretty well in North Carolina recently. I think 2024 is the year that they're going to really try to make it a swing state. In 2020, it was like 1% off that Trump won. And so there's definitely a lot of potential in North Carolina for Democrats in the future. The last time a Democrat won North Carolina was in 2008 when Barack Obama won it. He won it by, I believe, around 1 point, and then he lost it in 2012. Same thing with Indiana. Indiana went to Obama by exactly 1 point, and then Mitt Romney won it by 10 points in 2012. So this is my prediction if in the scenario that Donald Trump does go to jail. It's really too early to tell right now what's going to happen in Trump's criminal trials right now. I know that the Stormy Daniels case in New York is currently going on. So that's something you want to look out for. I do not know when the verdict will be out, but that's definitely something you guys should look upon and watch. So thank you guys for watching. I'm definitely going to try to make a lot more videos. I don't know if you saw my community tab, but I am going to Washington, D.C. In a week now. So I'm going to hopefully be posting daily videos from Washington, D.C. I'm going to definitely be making a lot more videos come this summer, and hopefully volunteer on some campaigns, not just nationally, but like locally and at the state level. So hopefully I can make some videos about that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and check out some of my other videos I made. I've made a lot of other videos about I'm in my shorts. I have made some videos about predictions from anyone from Gavin Newsom versus Donald Trump to Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. I've also done Andy Bashir versus Ron DeSantis. So yeah, and I really enjoy talking politics. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And stay tuned for more uploads coming soon.